Hello and welcome, my dear friend. There are moments in life when silence feels endless, when you wonder if your contribution will ever matter, if your presence will ever be recognized, if your voice will ever carry the weight you know it holds inside. It was quiet because you were preserved for the right moment. God didn't let you fade because you were weak. He held you back because you were needed for now. Think about a musician in an orchestra. Their part doesn't begin at the opening note. Sometimes they sit in complete stillness, through long passages of sound, waiting. And just when the melody needs depth, their instrument comes in. Not a second early, not a second late, but at the exact moment when their sound changes the entire atmosphere. That's what's happening in your life right now. Your silence wasn't neglect, it was timing. Your waiting wasn't empty, it was building weight in you. Your voice wasn't ignored, it was being saved for this very measure of the song. And now, the conductor has lifted his hand toward you. The score is open, the world is about to hear the sound he wrote in you long before you were born. I know it can feel strange to step into this moment. You've been conditioned by quiet seasons, by years of being hidden, by the weight of watching others take their place while you sat in the background. But none of that was wasted. I know it's one thing to say, your voice was preserved for now, but it's another to live through the waiting. And I know you felt the weight of it. It feels like sitting at a table with people who talk over you. You've had moments where you shared an idea and the room went quiet. But when someone else said the same thing, suddenly it was celebrated. You wondered if your contribution mattered or if you should just stay quiet. It feels like watching others get platforms, promotions, opportunities while you're left behind, even though you know you carry something just as powerful, maybe even more. And in that gap, the doubt creeps in. Maybe I misheard God. Maybe I don't have what it takes. Maybe I'm just meant to stay invisible. But I need you to see this differently. Invisibility is not the same as insignificance. God didn't mute your voice. He shielded it. Because there's a difference between being overlooked by people and being hidden by heaven. You've walked through seasons where your prayers felt like whispers into the ceiling. You've gone home after giving your best and wondered if anyone even noticed. You've wrestled with the silence of unanswered calls, unopened doors, friendships that slipped away. And while it stung, while you carried that ache of rejection, it was doing something sacred inside you. Rejection was teaching you not to place your worth in applause. Silence was training you to trust God's voice above the noise. Loneliness was carving a depth in you that connection alone could never create. That's why your words now carry weight. Because they're not theory, they're tested. Think about it. When someone who's never struggled tells you, have faith, it sounds flat. But when you say it, after nights of wondering if faith was enough, after tears on your pillow, after seasons where hope was your only companion, it lands differently. People feel it, they believe it, because you lived it. That's the gift of your hidden years. They built substance in you, and now that substance is what makes your voice irresistible. Some of you still doubt this. You think, but I'm not polished enough. I don't speak like they do. I don't look like the ones who get chosen. But let me remind you, God doesn't need polish. He needs purity. He doesn't need your sentences to sound rehearsed. He needs them to sound real. And real is what you are. That's why you've always felt out of place in shallow conversations, because your voice carries too much depth for small talk. That's why you couldn't force yourself into certain circles, because your sound didn't match their frequency. That's why you've been misunderstood, because What's in you was never meant to be understood by everyone. God didn't hide you to deny you. He hid you to refine you. He let you see behind the curtain, the motives, the fractures, the flaws in others who rushed to the stage too soon, so you'd never confuse noise with impact. And because of that, when you open your mouth now, it won't just be words, it will be weight. There are people who don't even know they're waiting for you, yet their breakthrough is tied to your release. There are chains that won't break until your testimony is spoken out loud. There are rooms that feel heavy right now, waiting for the exact authority God placed inside of you to shift them. And that's why you were held until the right time. Because when the time is right, you're not entering with shaky uncertainty. You're stepping in with lived experience. You've carried storms that taught you discernment. You've endured rejection that forged resilience. You've wrestled with silence that deepened your faith. Your voice carries a texture others can't imitate. It's not performance. It's not theory. It's not borrowed language. It's fire birthed from ashes, clarity born out of confusion, strength hammered in the forge of nights when no one else could see what you were carrying. And that's why God waited. So when you speak, hearts will hear more than sentences. They'll feel recognition. They'll sense truth. They'll know it isn't just you talking. It's heaven echoing through you. So believe me when I say you are not late. You are right on time. All those days you thought you were falling behind, all those moments you wondered why doors stayed closed, they were protection. Because what good is standing on a stage before the moment people are prepared to receive you? What good is pouring out before the soil is ready for the seed? No, God is too precise for that. You weren't hidden because you were unworthy. You were hidden because your impact had to be undeniable. And now that the timing is right, your voice can't be silenced. Not by critics, not by fear, not by your own self-doubt. This is why your spirit feels restless right now, like you're carrying words that don't fit inside your chest anymore, because heaven has already marked the release. And you'll notice it in small ways first. People leaning in when you speak, even in casual conversation. Strangers resonating with your presence before they know your story. It's because your words don't just fill space, they carry weight. These are not accidents. They are signals. Signals that the silence has ended, that the waiting is over, that the world is finally ready for what God preserved in you. So hear me clearly. Your voice is needed now. Not tomorrow, not next year, not when you feel more qualified or more polished. Now, because your presence isn't a luxury to this world, it's an answer. Your story isn't an afterthought, it's a key. Your voice isn't background noise, it's the sound God orchestrated this exact moment to carry. And I need you to rest in that truth. Stop questioning whether your time has passed. Stop wondering if you've been disqualified. The very fact that you're hearing this message is proof that you're still on the page God is writing, and your entrance is circled in red ink. You are needed now, and nothing can hold back what heaven has already released. The stage is yours now, my dear friend. So when you step forward, don't compare your voice to anyone else's. Don't hold back because you don't sound like them. You're not supposed to. You were preserved because your sound is different, and different is exactly what's needed now. And here's what's about to happen. You're going to notice people circling back. The same ones who dismissed you will begin to listen, not because they suddenly grew wiser, but because the atmosphere shifted, the timing opened, and now they can't ignore what's on you. And you'll know it's not random because deep inside, you'll feel the confirmation. This is the moment I was saved for. That doesn't mean the resistance will disappear. In fact, it may rise. Old insecurities might whisper louder. People who once held power over you may try to reassert themselves. But let that be your reminder. If nothing had shifted, there'd be no fight to pull you back. Resistance is proof of release. So instead of letting doubt paralyze you, let it become fuel. Each time the thought comes, am I ready? Am I enough? Did God really mean me? Remind yourself, if I wasn't, I wouldn't be here right now. You are not late. You are not overlooked. You are not optional. You are needed now. And here's the most important part. Your voice isn't just about you. It's about what God wants to release through you. Every time you speak, someone else breathes easier. Every time you share your story, someone else finds hope. Every time you carry your presence with courage, someone else realizes they're not alone. That's the real reason you were preserved, not just for your sake, but for theirs. So walk into this moment with confidence. Speak with the weight you've earned. Step into the places God opens without apology, because your voice was saved for this time, and the world can't afford your silence anymore. And one more thing, my friend. I've created a new channel filled with worship instrumentals, simplified serenity, music designed for prayer, healing, and deep stillness. Just tap or click the playlist on your screen, and I'd love to see you there.